The entertainment was not. Up and down action, 36-30 in OT in the division as the Falcons continue to be the cardiac kids, and again, this time in the win column. Joe Musso pleased to be alongside Emery Hunt on a night when, Emery, you better keep your eyes open, because if you did not, you missed something. We have to start with Kirk Cousins, a Falcon franchise record, 509 yards through the air for the man that so many people say so much about, specifically in prime time, but that narrative has to change if it has not already.
You focus on the last 4 drives of that ball game. They didn't really have the success on the 3rd drive, the 4th drive, let's say to start there. Then the 3rd to last drive, he throws the interception and doesn't have success. Oh, this is where they're going to lose this ball game. Then he locks in to drive them down the field to get in field goal range to tie the ball game to go into overtime. Then the final drive, the 4th drive, the key touchdown toss to Kadero Hodge for the touchdown to win the game. So Kurt showed you why they're not playing man. And if you look at who's on the other side, I can understand playing zone if you are Atlanta. You got some killers on the other side, in Godwin and Mike Evans, right? They got guys you really don't want to leave yourself susceptible to. On the other side for the Bucs, it's Drake London, and who else? Who else, quote-unquote, threatens you as a receiver? So why are you playing zone, especially if you have a #1 corner in Zion McCollum, right? So the one time they go man in a crucial situation.
Want to do that in 3 seasons. It was Joe Burrow back in 2021, and Cousins also becomes the first quarterback ever with 450-plus passing yards with 3 different franchises. No matter where you put him, he has continued to do these things, and we continue to ask similar questions of Kirk Cousins. But you got to look at this season. Prime time, 2-0, led drives to win in both instances, here in overtime against Philadelphia. He's done everything that's been asked of him. So how do we get to a place where people start talking about Kirk Cousins a little bit differently, talking about him not as the guy who's going to keep you from being championship caliber, but the guy who is going to make you championship caliber?
Well, he has to do it in regulation. He has to do it consistently over the course of a full season. You can't wait till these moments, because, again, had that game ended on the interception in one of those last 4 drives where it looked like Tampa Bay was going to be able to salt this game away, that's what people will say. Even I said it as we're watching this game, Joe, like, hey, you know, that's the Kirk Cousins that people always talk about, because he just threw the interception directly to the defensive player to lose the game. And then they go and get the stop on defense with the penalty aiding that, but then he goes right back down the field. So you don't want to see the up and down. You want to see him flatline his play. What we saw the last 2 drives from Kirk Cousins is what we want to see the entire game. Now, he played a solid game tonight, considering he was getting rid of the football. He stood tall in the pocket. We know he's, 4 weeks into playing off of the Achilles injury. So considering all of that, he played well tonight. But when the game was on the line, the first time, he didn't come through. But then the second time and third time, he was lights out. You just want to see him flatline that and not play the up and down game.
Did it on 58 attempts, 509, whether it's up, down. It ended where it needed to, and Cousins, a record-setting night here. More history within this one. Mike Evans scores a couple of times, 100 career touchdowns, 99 receiving, 1 on a fumble recovery, something to be celebrated there as well. Do you feel like we have a better idea of who this division goes through? Still very early, but as we try and figure out who is who and what is what, this is obviously a big feather in the cap of Atlanta, but when you look at this division, it gets so tight at the end. Do you think that Atlanta is the type of team that could pull away in this divisional race?
No, because you saw how they beat New Orleans, and then you've seen how New Orleans was in the game versus Philadelphia, the same way the Falcons came back and won. New Orleans found a way to lose that game. We saw Tampa Bay really was in control and how they ran the ball for the first time tonight against Atlanta. So all 3 teams this will be one of these divisions again that will come down to the final week. Shout out to Carolina, because you already have taken the season off. But Atlanta, New Orleans, Tampa Bay. New Orleans has a defense. They're running the football. Tampa's got the most balance, but the Falcons seem to have something special with the way they're able to throw the football now. When they decide to give Bijan Robinson the football, running the football like he did tonight, and their defense is opportunistic, and they're going to get healthier. Troy Anderson is going to come back. They got good corners, got good secondary players at safety position. So this division is going to be super competitive. It's a 3-team race. Carolina, you know, we'll see you in 2020. 5 it is. So
20-something?
So 20-something. Yeah. So, but this division is a 3-team race. It's going to be competitive all the way throughout.
It certainly feels that way. On this night, it belongs to Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons. 500+ for Mr. Prime Time, who comes up another prime performance. Kirk Cousins leading his team to victory in overtime. Wow. What a performance. There were the ups and the downs, as Emery Hunt pointed out, but Kirk Cousins, when his team needed it most, did exactly what was required. Drives into field goal range. They get the 3. In overtime, waste no time. 45 yards to Kadero Hodge, and a winner in the most dramatic fashion. You know, Atlanta has a way of putting its arm around those who do for them. Kirk Cousins swag surf into the win column. More to come on HQ. We got full highlights, reaction, and podium sound from a thrilling finish in the A. Don't move.